Hello guys and welcome to the channel. It is Monday morning and we're going to be diamond painting. Now I have got up today to find that it has been snowing. Yes, it was snowing last night and we have got a wintry wonderland. So there's only one film that you can watch at this time of year when it's snowing. Whenever it's snowing, there's only one film that does the magic, and that is The Chronicles of Narnia. Yes, that's right. I am going to be watching that after I've done this painting, or bits of it, because I just think that's such a magical film. So I'll be doing that. I have just come out of the shower and loaded up my laptop to check on my emails. There seems to be a technical problem because my phone is not alerting me to new emails, so I don't know whether I need to uninstall it and reinstall it, but I should be getting notified of, emails and that, and they're not notifying me. So I need to have a look into what's causing that. But yeah, then I had an email from the Employment Tribunal to say that the claimant wishes to settle the... sorry, I am the claimant. The respondent wishes to settle the matter, so... But they're crafty because there's two different claims running, because there's two different problems. And sometimes what the tribunal can do is join them into one claim. Now, what the respondent is basically doing is he wants to or they, I don't know who it is that does it, but they want to settle both claims for the figure I quoted. And obviously I agreed to it, but then today I sort of thought, well, that's not solving the problem, is it? So you basically want to settle both claims for one figure, which I'm not prepared to do. Because there's a claim for, obviously, the holiday pay that I'm owed, and there's another claim for emotional distress. And I don't think the figure they've quoted me is sufficient. I don't agree with that. So I will accept the holiday pay and the emotional stress for the other claim. But this other claim is to do with the... Basically, when they suspended me, I didn't turn up for work because I was so frustrated. And I said, I'll be back on the weekend. They basically suspended me unlawfully because I informed them that I would be back on the weekend. And they just suspended me, even though I told them that I was going to be attending. So, yeah, I'm not going to let them get out of it that easily. So, yeah, so back and forth with them. I've got to phone Westminster Collections because I've still got to still waiting for my refund, because me and the Westminster have decided to part ways. Basically, the account got into £100 debt, and I had a Christmas Peter Rabbit coin on there from probably about a couple of years ago, and it turns out that they sold it, even though it was reserved for me. So I said, why has it been sold? You've put it on my account as outstanding. I've explained to you that my account runs on an IOU, which means they send the goods before payment's received and I pay on an invoice, how it's always been. And they said, oh, the coins are not reserved. We can't reserve them. So if they sell out of stock, they sell out of stock, which I think is completely wrong, because you assigned it to my account as outstanding because you were waiting a stock delivery. So I thought that was, really out of order. And I said, well, I'm not prepared to pay the payment until you send some of the coins. I've had 9 months of no coins on my channel because you won't send them until the debt's cleared. When obviously you're working with a company to try and resolve a problem, it's got to be fairly. And I don't think they were being fair. So I sent a formal complaint. The manager didn't really do an awful lot, so I took it higher to what's called the operations manager. They're basically floating support managers that will support the manager, if you get me, which is basically their manager. And she said, having assessed the situation, I said, there's 2 options here. One, you either send me some of the coins and I pay bits off the debt as you send them, or two, you refund me for the whole lot and I'll send the coins back and we call it a day and shut the account. And they were in agreement to that. It's just, it is a shame because I do like them, but the quality is not too good. The quality is basically a very thin coin as opposed to like the Coin Club with a big thick one. So what am I looking for? Oh, number 2, this one. So yeah, so we've agreed to call it a day, but they said it's got sent on, you get free post address, but they basically want proof of postage. And I said, sorry, I don't do that. You know, that means queuing up in a queue at the post office. I sent them a video of me posting it in the letterbox as my proof, because that is my proof. And I'll be chasing them again today because I don't like waiting and waiting and waiting for things. I like things done, you know. And I think it's been long enough. They can't keep blaming it on the, you know, the strikes. So they have to sort this out. You know, they can't keep coming up with the same crap all the time. So I'm going to email them, and they reckon if you keep emailing it, we'll push it to the bottom of the queue. But I don't care, you know, you're taking the mick now. And I've said to them, I'm not prepared to send the whole lot back until I get some of the money back. So I'm going to do it in various shipments. So once they refund for these coins, then I'll send the next lot back. So I've basically parted ways with them. When I'm shopping with a company, I want good customer service. I want good, you know, delivery, and, you know, understand the customer's need. In this case, they didn't, so unfortunately we have to part ways. And I just think, you know, and they said we don't send the goods out if there's a debt. Okay, but you need to realise that you've caused me no issues. You know, the account's always been on IOU, so you send the goods, then you get the payment. That's how it works. And I paid for the last set of coins, which I believe were the dinosaur ones. And yeah, they didn't really care about that. So I thought, you know what, let's part ways then, because you're not prepared to work with me, so I can't continue my subscriptions with you. I'm gonna call it a day with you then. And I said to them, you've caused months of delay, no coins. I've had to explain to my viewers why you haven't had no videos for it. But no, that's not good enough to them. So, yes, but it was really crap quality. And I can't shop with a company that's got crap quality. The only decent thing about it was the slots where the coins sit into, you know. So, knowing them, I probably won't get it till after Christmas. I don't know. And then I had a shock of my life. I woke up this morning and looked on my landline phone, and it said that I was calling someone for 10 hours. So I must have not hanged up properly, because someone phoned me yesterday. So I rang it back to see who it was. And yeah, so if I've got a bill that is sky high on my phone, I have got to pay that because it's my error, which I'm not looking forward to. But with this money that the tribunal is sorting out for me, because basically what happens is it will go to a company called ACAS. They're basically consolidators and mediators. You have to go through that process before you get it to tribunal, because they will give you a certificate number, which then that's how you get it to tribunal. And they will basically try an early settlement, an early conciliation, which is where they talk to the respondent and then they pass information to them, and then ACAS forwards it to me for approval and stuff like that. I mean, the last one that they did, the £80 they owed me that they wouldn't pay, they did that on an early settlement as well. So I think that would be, you know, it's both stressful for both me and the respondent. Both of us don't want to go to the tribunal hearing. We try to settle it before it gets to that stage. So, yeah, I mean, they seem to want to settle the problem. Why the managers couldn't do that in the first place at payroll, I don't know. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm not prepared to... I won't put up with people taking the mick, I'm afraid. Especially when it comes down to wages. And that's what they do. Basically, take the mick. And I can honestly say, hand on heart, resigning was the best decision I ever made. And I'm just annoyed with myself that I didn't do it a lot earlier, you know. So, yeah, it is fresh new start. So, the job I've just been recruited on, this is really quite nice. It's much more same sort of hours, but it's you feel like you're with a proper company. I'm not saying that they're not a proper company, but at least I don't have to fear about my wages being mucked up, you know. So, I mean, the amount of debt they've caused me is unbearable, but, you know, I have to work with it. It's like, yesterday I got a letter from a company called Lorry, and apparently I'm supposed to owe BT £85, and I haven't been with BT for nearly a year because I boshed it. And the letter said, oh, this is from 2021, we've bought your account, because Lao are debt purchasers, they buy debt. So I've emailed them, and they said, please buy now, please pay now, something to do with, otherwise you'll have a default on your credit history or something. And I've written a complaint because they've gave me such a short space. I don't think that's very fair, because you've not took into account the delays with Raw Mail. So I will try to appeal that default, because that's not very fair. You can't expect someone to pay 2 weeks in the Christmas season. That ain't going to happen. And I said to them, I'm quite concerned as to why it's took you a year to buy this debt. Do you see what I mean? I don't really know why you would buy debt. I mean, I had an account with O2, and I said I don't agree to that, and they waived half of it. So, because I'm just going to pay like off a figure, I need hard evidence. I need to see where you're coming up with the figure of this so-called £85, and then I need to see proof of that in the form of statements. I will not accept, under any circumstance, I will not accept just a figure of speech or a figure written on a letter. That means nothing. I need to see hard evidence, receipts, statements, proof, you know, of what that debt is for. Otherwise, I can't work with you, you know, and I will just write it off with, you know, there's lots of things I can do. I mean, I could apply for a DRO, which is a debt relief order, which blocks all debt for a year, but I tried that previously and I didn't win. It had to go to a payment arrangement, because they only have, I think it's Citizens Advice Bureau, only have the license for that, but you have to be in a certain criteria, and I think you have to be in quite a lot of debt, whereas mine was only like £4,000 debt. So for some apparent reason, I didn't qualify for the debt, the DRO. So yeah, it's a pain. That's what I love about Monday mornings. You get fresh, you know, all the companies are back to work. You get to move things down, but they want me to sign this COT3 wording or something. But with the last claim, I didn't have to do that because we settled it. So I said, do I need to sign this? And he said no, because it's been settled, you know. So yeah, I don't know whether they'll do that today or when, but it'd be lovely if I got it before Christmas, but knowing them, probably not. We are talking about Elliot here. But I was actually so amazed with the amount of tribunal cases that is on there. If you look at as I said, it's like, I think you type in employment tribunal, Elliot, just like, I don't know, employment tribunal LEO cases, you'll see there's thousands and thousands of people that have made claims against that company. So, yeah, leaving was, and it was an easier decision, you know. I slept on it and I thought, right, yeah, this is it. I want to leave. I've had enough. And it's really weird because, as I said, a few years ago, I think it's 2020 or 2021, I walked out. I got so wound up. Went in there one day, cleaned all the cutlery, made sure it was pish posh, all lovely. Oh no, this is all dirty. And it wasn't. You could see it shimmering where it was so clean. And I then found out he was basically making fun of me because another colleague said he did it because something, I can't say what, but yeah, it turns out that he took the piss out of quite a lot of people. So we had a guy there that was obviously disabled. He couldn't use, something was wrong with his hand and he couldn't use it. And apparently he was saying behind his back that he was so slow, you know, can someone take over on the dishwasher? Now, equality and diversity, you have to be respectful of that person. It's basically discrimination if you, say like someone, for example, someone can't use their right hand because of a reason. The employer can't just automatically go, right, we can't employ you, because that's discrimination. So, yeah, it's really, it's quite weird. But I don't miss it at all. So, yeah. And what was annoying is like going in one day to stacks of washing up, because they don't clean up after themselves. You have to do all their cleaning. So you clean it all lovely, it's all done. Then they decide to get more and more pots out, and it's like, nah, I don't want to do this, you know, clean up after yourself. I didn't make that mess. Manager or not, you know, that's your stuff, clean it up. And then they were like, oh, we're doing a performance review. And I was like, all right, when's the show? Why'd you have to be... I felt like I was being monitored over my performance. Why'd you have to do a performance review? I mean, every company has that, but yeah, I don't agree with that. So I actually said, this is not a theatre show, you know. I don't want this. I don't want you recording my performance review. And I demand that you restrict that with immediate effect, because I can do a thing called a right to restrict processing, which means they can't process your data if you request that. So I really want to go into like, as I said, when I was a kid, I used to want to be a train driver. My ambition would be to be in the theatre. I absolutely love musical theatre. I've won awards for Best Actor. I've won awards for, you know, various other things. Oliver, that I used to play. I used to be the main actor, Oliver. And yeah, it was really, really lovely. And my ambition would love to be musical theatre, and I done like acting on stage, and then I did like the scenery sort of stuff. I was doing LXQs, which is where the stage manager will basically read out the cues for the lighting guys. So they'll go with things like LXQ5 go, LXQ56 go, LXQ5 go, and they have to keep reading them cues, because as soon as that cue's read, that's when the light comes on, you know. It's not automated. They have to read the book. It's like prompt. They will sit in a bit of the stage. So you've got stage right, stage left. There'll be like a little cupboard section. And a prompt, basically, you don't get them in professional theatres, but a prompt basically sits there. If someone's forgot the line, she will shout it out to them. So she reads the entire script. But yeah, it must be boring reading the same thing over and over again. But this is nice. We're now getting into this Coca-Cola section. But yeah, really, I just want the cases resolved in the shortest time frame. It's like last week I resolved the British Gas complaint, so I got my compensation for that, and that helped out with some of the issues, actually. So, yeah, you never know. I could sign up to the Stingray with a Gore. So, yeah. Oh, fudge cake. I can't remember when we started this, so I'll end it at 10 past. Woke up today and I have £15 left on the meter. I have used so much heat when I don't really need to use that much. So I'll have to top it up again. But there is, as I said, with British Gas, if you're running low on funds and you've got to wait until your next payday, British Gas do this thing where you can borrow money. It's called a temporary credit. So you can say, can I borrow £50 to last me till the end of the month? And then they'll set it back to pay £3.50 a week. So there is a debt on it for, I think it's like £137 at the moment. So it's taking that, plus it's taking what's called a standing charge. A standing charge is basically just for having the meter there. What are we doing here, Kay? Where's my Kay gone? Is it that one? Yeah. But yeah, I finished doing this about, it must have been 11:30 last night. Because I watched the film and then, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to do as much of this as I can today, and then like 2 o'clock I need to change over because I've got to do some filming on the other channels. Diamond painting sorted, craft is sorted. I think, is craft sorted? No, my crafting channel always has a Monday off. And then I've just got to do my one. And then I need to do, what's the other one? Yeah, just World of Mike, I think it is. Yeah. So that's good. Now, one of the videos I'm doing needs to be edited, but when I try to edit it, it keeps saying low disk space, and I've removed everything off my phone, and still that's not enough. You know, I've moved apps off temporarily, but no. So I don't know what's causing that. So there may be a delay to seeing that video, but I'll try and get it up as soon as I can. But yeah, we're on the race now. Not the race, we're on the last sort of week now before Christmas, isn't it? So, you know, like the last proper sort of week before Christmas week. So, yeah. I like Christmas, but I would like to be in the new year now. You know, it's so much hassle leading up to it. And, yeah, I want to be in the new year. I think there's strikes on Wednesday and Thursday, but we are having it's Dot's funeral today on EastEnders, isn't it? So you'll see the black horses, and that's how my dad wants to go. He wants to have black horses take him. So I don't really know what I'll have for mine. Probably something with Partworks or something, or I'm a Celebrity, my favourite programme, because the idea is you play music that you like and stuff like that. But if I died, I would have to have, the song for me would have to be Titanic, Heart Will Go On. That is, as I say, I'm a very passionate person. The Titanic, it means an awful lot to me. It's something that I've always been quite fond of. I've got all sorts of, you know, statues and thingamajigs, as you can see here. I've got miniature models of it. I just love it. It's such a magical film, and I'm supposed to be getting a film with Cinema Paradiso called SOS Titanic. Now, I don't know if it's going to come today. I don't know if we're going to be getting the Think Mike studio, Diamond Art Studio, because obviously it's snowing, so the postmen are probably thinking, oh, I can't go out in that, it's so icy, you know. And it's like, people need them out. It's getting beyond a joke now, you know. Sort it out. Do they not understand that keep striking, they're not going to agree to it? Like, hello. But there was a video on TikTok last night. There's been quite a lot of cages. There's cages that are going outside of the depot where they're so busy. But apparently they're offloading some to Every to deliver. So you don't know when they're coming because it's a different barcode. Unless they use their PDAs, which are the scanning devices that they use to say that the parcel's been sent. I checked the Moomins last night and that still hasn't moved or been delivered. It's not scanned, so... Yep. But yeah, as I said, going back to my dream job, would be, you know, theatre. But since I've been dealing with courts and all that, with claims that I've had to take forward because of companies that owe me money, I want to go into that. I love investigating things. So when I get a letter saying something about, I don't know, you owe £4 for this, I like to go into the account. I like to figure out where this £4 is coming from, how you've got to that accumulation. I love doing complaints because companies don't like it when you complain. And I love resolving the complaints. I just love doing wonderful things. It's like, quite often I'll say admin, and I had a comment on it once, something to do with admin for a YouTube channel, and I just couldn't stop laughing and I booted it off, because just because I say admin doesn't mean it's admin for a company, you know. Admin is admin, you know. So it's, some people just don't get it. I call, like when I'm emailing, I call that admin, or if I'm writing a letter, to me that's admin. But yeah, it's, I would love a job in a call centre as well. I'm a problem solver. I like to deal with problems, but I also like to help people. So if I can see someone struggling, like maybe they need help with something, like a part needs help, you need help, or you can't get a specific part, I like to help people with that. Or perhaps they need some help with money for a bit. But if I did that, if I helped someone with money, I would make sure that a contract is typed up. So basically, like, Mike Anderson will pay Sarah whoever, £4, be payable on this, and then that means that I'm covered, and if you don't pay, I could probably sue you on it. So yeah, but I have to be more sure than not and ascertain whether you do in fact need it, or whether you're just trying to get a bit of money to pass you by, you know. So I'm, you know, I like helping people out. I always have done, really. One of my friends in America, he does Funko Pops, and he one day went and saw someone who needed some food, and he bought them a sub, and his friend was with them, so he bought them another one, just randomly bought them it. But I can honestly say, hand on heart, I don't like Americans, because they think they're big and better than everyone else. Some Americans are okay, they're lovely people, but some of them think they're all Mr. Wonderful, and, you know, we're big and better than the UK. I'll have you be known that the UK tried to burn down the White House. So, yeah. But I don't know what it is. They just seem to think that they're better than everyone else, and they're not. We're all equal here, you know? I don't know why they seem to think that they're the best country on the planet, you know. And now I woke up today with an article, something to do with there's a fire or something in Russia, so yeah. And then, like, say for example, we say something, they don't get our meaning. So, like, for example, cake over here, our biscuits are their cakes, if that's right. I think that's right. And then, like, our Milky Way is their galaxy, or vice versa, something like that. But yeah. I mean, one of my friends the other day, they were saying, "Oh, I'm struggling to understand what you mean." That's because our terms are different, you know, our wording's different. So, like, I don't know. As I said, like, galaxy, they don't know. Like, galaxy is their Milky Way and vice versa. We call things different. And that was someone in, I saw that in, you know, that Johnny Depp defamatory case. One of the judges, someone of the witness, I think it was a witness, but one of the judges was talking, and the guy didn't know what he meant because of the American term. So they had to explain it, really, but yep. I wonder how far I'll get on this today. I predict probably about here, but we'll see. Because I can do this right up to 11 now that I've got a seat. I'm actually sitting on a shredder. It makes a lovely seat, actually. So, yeah. Do you know what? A Coca-Cola lorry parkwork would be the best. Could you imagine that? We need a helicopter build, though. We desperately need a helicopter build. That would be amazing. Just going to have a bit of my tea. I swear it's getting faster and faster each day. Like, I literally got up at 9 and it's now 11:05 already. Can someone please, like, try and slow the time down? Now, obviously, we're not going to get the true effect of this writing, this cola writing, until we see all the red on it. But we'll turn it off in a minute and have a go and see what it says. So, yeah. As I said, I'm not multi-placing this bit at the moment because I've got a mixture of colours here. So, whoops, because I haven't got enough available trays. I could be really naughty and pinch the one out of Victoria's Moon, but I need to save that for an unboxing, which I could do for the Friday video, actually, because I do recall that there's not been any unboxings. That's purely because I've run out of unboxings, and I've been good. I've persevered in not buying any more paintings, apart from the one that I bought on Vinted, which was of a robin. So I've been pretty good, you know. I'm working at getting my stash, and I think, you know, once we're getting, normally I'll get about halfway, and then I'll, you know, get another one, or when it's full. But my friend, she did a painting the other day. She put it on her channel, but she painted it, but the drills were popping, and apparently she couldn't, her OCD was playing up or something, so she couldn't leave it just like that. She had to do the full lot and then chuck it away. That must have been, like, really, really frustrating. But hopefully my friends will get their Christmas cards today. Hopefully. I'm very reluctant in sending more out because I know that they're probably going to turn up eventually. It'd be funny if you got in January and go, hey, Merry Christmas. Like, it's, you know. But yeah, today's going to be a diamond painting day, I think, today. I love David Attenborough. I always watch Frozen Planet because there was a new series, and You know, the one there he goes, and here we have the polar bear. The polar bear is a species that lives in the Antarctic rainforest. So, that went pear-shaped. The Antarctic. And they fish for fish. Their coats keep them nice and warm. He's a lovely chap. There used to be a Willy Wonka artwork, and in this massive book, you got a book, and you pulled it out, and you had like cards, like total tarot cards, but with like a little charm. I think that, I don't know what publisher done that, because I was very young when that came out, probably about 10. So it's been out donkey's years, but I've never seen it since. Even when looking on like eBay and that, I can't find it. So, yeah. All the fourth, 44. Right, that's 9. So that must be bloody 4. No, that's bloody 8. Where's my bloody 4 gone? There we go. Sorry if you can hear me talking in a Yorkshire accent. Oh no, not that bloody place again. I shouldn't have said Yorkshire, because it haunts me. But normally I can I don't know how it happens. Subconsciously, I don't know I'm doing it, and then I can just be talking and then just slip into an accent. I don't know how I do it. And my friend one day said, "Do you watch video games?" Because she said, 1 minute you're talking South African, the next minute you're talking Scottish. And I did say to her, I am half South African and I'm half Essex because I have South African family. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. And she's like, do you watch a ball game or something? But I don't know I'm doing it. One day I've copied my manager's accent and he didn't pick up on it. But it will be the first year where I don't get a tub of sweets from the management team. That was a push and all. Happy Easter, Mike, a little cream egg. Then the year after that, she decided to get us a bigger egg. But this was the operations manager, so no one likes her. She's a horrible woman. She talks to you very, like, derogatory, and she brought in this glass bowl once, and she went, "See this? Don't touch it." And I was like, "It's a bowl, mate." Like, literally. I really, you know when you really want to say something back, but you can't because she's there and she will fire you on the spot, you know. But, yeah, she's not a nice person, and I think that's why so many people have left. But I am the one that's been true, you know, and loyal to them, and they lost me because I didn't want to do it anymore. You know, I'm gutted that I wasn't able to say goodbye to the residents. Absolutely gutted, but you know, I can't be with, and knowing one of the carers there, she will worm her way back into the kitchen like she does. We call her the green snake because she basically talks to you. She'll go, "Hi Michael, how are you?" Oh my God, I just called myself Michael. That is my name, but I find it very old. And she'll go, "Hiya, how are you?" Then the minute your back's turned, yap, 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 behind your back. So we call her the green snake. And I've seen messages from a former colleague that said that they were trying to replace one of the other colleagues because she didn't like them. And apparently she was pushing hard for this person to leave, apparently. So, yeah. She's the type of person that, you know, her shit don't stink, you know, that sort of thing. Didn't like her from day one. It was all an act, and I saw through her stupid two-faced act. So, yeah. All crumbs, we've gone over. Right, let's turn this off, see how it's looking. Right, so as you can see, this is quite interesting. We've got a lot of yellow on. I don't know what this yellow is supposed to replicate because it definitely isn't lights. But we've got the red on it. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but the Coca-Cola writing as well looks really, really good. There are patches in this where if you look, you're sort of thinking, what is what. I can't tell what this is unless it's a pallet coming off the back of the lorry. But here, I think they've really sport it, because this bottle is too integrated or incorporated in the sky. You can barely see the bottle, and I think that's why they've done these little piping of white around the edge. But it's really annoying, because the fingers and the thumbs come out perfect detail, but then it's wrecked by the bottle sort of disintegrating into the sky. I really don't know why they've done that. It's really, really frustrating, but I'm thinking about changing this into a red band, and then somehow like put Coca, or even if it's just a red band, I might swap these out for black, but I'll do that. I always make an assessment at the end. I don't like to change it, but if push comes to shove, we will, because I don't like the idea of that being blue. Since when do you get a blue Coca-Cola bottle? But as you can see, that's how we're looking at the moment. We've not got far more to go. It's probably ending about there, so we're on target still, so I think we'll get there. But please remember to like, share, subscribe, tap the bell if you want to be notified of all the videos I do. And I will see you again very soon for another session tomorrow. So take care, guys. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.